Hello, and welcome to Hempfield Happenings.
In this month's episode, we'll be highlighting a reading initiative in the elementary schools to gather an author's attention,
A high school senior's artwork that earned her a scholarship in visual arts,
and many great achievements by the boys and girls basketball teams. I'm Abby Bittner.
And I'm Quentin Hernandez, and this is Hempfield Happenings.
With the new administration, refugees have been a major topic in the news. Liz Beerley went to see how Lancaster receives its refugees.
Many of the families needed to flee Burma because of ethnic persecution.
In 2016, the Lancaster Church World Services Office welcomed 407 refugees to the county. However, according to the Refugee Welcome Index, only 27% of Americans would accept refugees into their neighborhood. With 550 refugees expected to arrive in Lancaster County in 2017, understanding who refugees are is a primary concern for residents.
Refugees are people who hold a very specific legal and political identification, and that ID states that they're people who have been forced to flee their home country due to persecution. They did not choose to leave, and the persecution is always based on their race, religion, nationality, political opinion, or membership in a social group, and they're not able to return home.
After being legally named a refugee, a person can try to return to their home or begin to pursue citizenship in the country in which they are currently located. If this is not possible, a refugee's only choice is to attempt to resettle into another country.
The shocking statistic about that is fewer than 1% of the world's refugees are able to actually be resettled.
Due to displacement, a refugee spends an average of 17 years living in a refugee camp or other types of temporary housing.
In India, they didn't make a camp like in Nepal. In other states, we live like small apartment. We are working, and only 500 we have to survive for that. It's so difficult to live that.
In Burma, the government is, how can I say, it's no good. The government doesn't like Christian. We scare police and army. People said, oh, the police no scared, all is good. Buddhist, Christian, Muslim, we can live. So I'm happy I stay here.
Although Mary, Ray Moy, and their families were able to relocate to the United States, millions of other refugees around the world still face poverty, violence, and displacement.
I've come to view the refugee situation as the great humanitarian crisis of our generation. The numbers of people that need help are just staggering.
Here in the States, we're kind of in a bubble that we may hear of stories in the news or read about it, but we don't really know a whole lot of what's going on.
Matt and Jesse were part of a team of volunteers who traveled to Austria to remodel apartments to allow refugees living in camps to find housing.
In the downstairs of the building, they have this sort of cafe area where they can just associate with one another. And so because that was just downstairs, we were able to really speak with and spend time with a lot of these refugees. And they all had just amazing stories of how they got there. No one's journey was easy. It was very difficult to sit face to face with somebody and have them tell you a story where they almost died 3-4 times, and then they finish their story and you're left trying to figure out what to say.
Honestly, and I'm kind of ashamed, I was one of those people who said, no, don't let these people in here. We don't know who they are, why they're coming to our country. I wasn't very compassionate. After meeting and talking to these people, my story's changed. Many of them really need help. They're not fleeing because they want to. They're fleeing because they have to.
This is a population group that we must not underestimate and cast off as helpless. Refugees come with so many skills, so many stories, and so much resiliency.
To learn more about refugees, their impact on the community, or how you can help, visit cwsglobal.org. For Hempfield Happenings, I'm Liz Beerley.
This past Valentine's Day, students of Mountville Elementary School were in for a treat. Julia Givens went to see what that was.
Hempfield School District aims to teach their students to have a love for reading, and at Mountville Elementary School, they're taking a new approach to achieve this goal.
The program is called One Book, One School, and the premise is that the entire school, K through 6, reads the exact same book. And the idea is to really get engaged with your family and read at home, and we progress through the book together and experience it as an entire school body.
Mountville students will be reading The Lemonade War by Jacqueline Davies, a story about the rivalry between two siblings and their lemonade stands.
The main goal of One Book, One School is to unite the entire school with our families and our community members to read one book and to come together as lovers of reading.
Mountville is also having a school-wide competition in spirit of the Lemonade Wars.
We have the primary grades working towards lemons, and we have the intermediate grades working towards lemons. The primary is going to be pink lemonade, and the intermediate grades are going to be yellow lemonade. And so we have some large pitchers out in the hallway, and each time the classes earn one of the dress down days or they do something in the classroom curricular, they'll earn a lemon. And so the idea is whoever can fill the pitcher first will win the lemonade war at school. We're hoping if we can reach our goal of filling 100 lemons in our pitcher, that we can bring Jacqueline Davies to our school.
The program was kept a secret from the students until February 14th, when an assembly was held to announce the program and give each student their own copy of the book. The elementary schoolers were excited about this for different reasons.
The pictures look kind of interesting about the book.
I have not done anything like this before, and I want to try something new.
We like the idea that it unifies our school together, that we're bringing in family engagement and literacy, and so those are some of our top goals for our students, so we just want to make it really fun.
As the school progresses through the book, not only will they unite through reading, they will also enjoy doing so. For Hempfield Happenings, I'm Julia Givens.
Art is a large contributor to the creativity in Hempfield, and Jason Furlong met with a particular alum about how his art has been viewed by those throughout the district.
There are many different ways to show school spirit and pride. Recently, East Petersburg Elementary School added an artistic decoration to show theirs.
I talked to Hempfield art supervisor and teacher Mr. Lehman to get an idea of what the process was like.
The Hempfield Foundation had some money that they spread out across the district and encouraged us to think of various artists in residencies that we might be able to embrace within each building. East Petersburg Elementary School decided to work with Hempfield graduate Ramon Trevino, and he has done some work here in the district before. He executed a mural in the high school courtyard. Ramon is now doing murals inside of East Pete Elementary in their stairwell.
I came up with the idea of doing the word dream, and the whole concept of it is, you know, those kids at that age, they're starting to dream about what they want to do and what they want to be. And it has a sky and some clouds, which represents daydreaming. Galaxy sky is kind of like represents sky's the limit with your dreams. You can dream big. There's a little kid looking out the window, just, you know, dreaming and thinking about, you know, what they want to be. The tree represents growth, just growing. You know, these kids are young and they have to go to junior high, then have to go to high school and college, and they're going to grow in their dreams and grow to really find out what their passion is. If you notice at the bottom, there's passion is in the roots. We were just talking in conversation. We just believe that that the roots of our dreams are passion. So if you find your passion, it's a very big key to your destiny, to your you know, what you're created to be and do.
Graffiti unfortunately had a very bad reputation as being bad because where it began in cities like Philadelphia, the graffiti that was being done illegally. To negate it as a bad form of art doesn't make sense, because we don't negate magic markers as bad art, but yet you can take one of those and write on a bathroom wall just the same as you could a spray can on a brick wall. What we do is we educate our students and have them embrace positive forms of expressing themselves. We know there's bad forms of almost anything out there, and our job in public education is to empower students with positive ways to communicate.
I just want to send a message out there that you can still be into this art form and, you know, use that medium of spray paint, but you don't have to go the route of doing things illegally, you know, because it's all about, art is all about expressing yourself, right? So that's part of what I teach and what I do, is trying to promote graffiti in a positive light.
Through the power of Ramon's spray paint art, he's able to reach people in a positive way and give the art form a better name. For Hempfield Happenings, I'm Jason Furlong.
Student artist Sydney Shuba has accomplished a lot in her time at the high school. Devin Nunemaker went to learn more about her success in the art department.
Recently, senior Sydney Shuba got recognized for several accomplishments in the art department.
Yeah, I think fashion is a really important part of what I do, and it factors into even 2D works. I kind of think about like how they would relate to the human body, or like how they relate to three-dimensional spaces. This is the kind of thing I do now, is like painting and then putting stitch work back into it, and then going back on top with painting.
Sydney's accomplishments include one of 3 countywide portfolio awards in visual arts, and she will also be given $1,000 towards an art school of her choice.
Well, she has like different kind of styles of art. Like she'll do something that's like the dresses that she does, and that they're more like flowery, and then she could like flip the table and go to something that's so dark and deep.
I think her work has become far more conceptual. She's interested in the human form, but not just from the typical viewpoint like you might see here in our gallery, but almost an internal view of the body. And
a lot of my inspiration comes from looking at like my own body and other people's bodies, and like the cool like textures that you can get from like skin and hair, and like different ways that like skin is like manipulated in the wrinkles you get.
A lot of her pieces are really, really colorful and really happy, or really, really sad. And I've talked to her about a few of them, and I've gotten to know her better, and she's just a really great artist overall.
I think Sydney Shuba is an example, a perfect example, of a student who has taken full advantage of the course offerings that Hempfield High School puts out there for students. And it's exciting to see how far it can go, and just what a student can accomplish who puts a conceited effort to make it happen, to take as much as they can.
As you can see, Sydney's accomplishments in the art department are paying off. For Hempfield Happenings, I'm Devin Nunemaker.
Mountville students got the opportunity to present science projects at their annual science fair. Bailey Tudor went to interview students and teachers about their findings.
Another event happening at Mountville Elementary School this month is out to prove that you're never too young to invent.
My name is Mrs. Novello. I'm a third grade teacher at Mountville. We're at our third grade Simple Machine Science Fair.
For the past 17 years, Mrs. Novello has been a teacher at Mountville Elementary School, and almost every year she has presented a challenge to the third graders. The assignment was to create a toy out of everyday materials, using principles learned in science class about simple machines.
Their toys, their assignment for studying simple machines was to be able to create a toy that had at least one moving part, and was also one type or more of a type of simple machine, like a lever or a pulley.
I made this in the room, and I didn't know how to make it, so my cousin helped me a little bit.
Whoa! The Simple Machines Fair encouraged children to think outside the box and brought a lot of ideas to the table. Here are a few of the students' examples.
And we're so excited for all of our students. All of the third grade teachers are so proud of our children for inventing all their toys. So we're just so thrilled, and the students have worked hard, and we thank all the parents for coming and for all of their support as well.
So Hempfield, don't discount a child's creativity, because no matter their size, their imagination is limitless. For Hempfield Happenings, I'm Bailey Titter.
To reward appropriate school behavior, students of Centerville Elementary School participate in an assembly known as Superfriends. Dana Greener attended and gathered information about other programs in the school.
Here at Centerville Elementary School, teachers have been trying out many reward systems in order to figure out which one best motivates their students.
Superfriends program, we started that a couple years ago here at Centerville as a way to kind of promote more positive interactions among students in our building, encouraging students to interact with one another even if they don't know someone really well. So we can be super friends by being a good friend, reaching out, helping out others, interacting with other students, and trying to help out, not just in the classroom, but helping out a friend at recess, offering to play with others, just being cooperative, really being good role models and examples for their friends.
A super friend means that if you want to be mean to somebody, you shouldn't do it even though you feel like doing it because were being mean to you. You'll be nice to people and you help people when they can't do something or they need somebody to play with or they got hurt. They just wanted to help so they feel better.
And two of you stand over here. Perfect. Lovely. Great.
I help out with other students and when they're upset, and I help the teacher, and I don't talk in the hallways. It also means to set a good example for others, help other people when they're hurt.
Really, our program, a positive is that we're recognizing those students that are going above and beyond, being super friends every month, and recognizing kids that aren't just doing well academically necessarily, but are growing socially and emotionally.
However, Super Friends is not the only reward system that the school has been using.
The last few years here, we have been using the 3 R's program, but we wanted to kind of revamp that a little bit. Each letter in CHAMP stands for a certain component of their school day. There are CHAMP tickets that each teacher has, and students can earn CHAMP tickets in their classroom for displaying great CHAMP behaviors, and they can put it in their classroom bucket. And then most teachers will be picking out tickets in their classrooms, and those students might get an individual reward. At the end of each week, we are taking all the CHAMP tickets in the building, putting them in our whole building CHAMP containers down here in the office, and then as a whole building, we are working together to try to earn a whole building reward.
Reward systems like CHAMPs and Super Friends encourage students to do the best they can in all aspects of their lives. For Hempfield Happenings, I'm Dana Greener.
Both the boys and girls basketball teams at the high school have experienced many triumphs this season. Taylor Hess met with both players and coaches about their achievements.
100 wins, 1,000 points, and 5 overtimes in one game are all things that have contributed to Hempfield's successful season in basketball. Boys varsity basketball coach Mr. Walk got 100 wins.
When you talk about a milestone like that, you're really talking about 100 wins for the program. I'm really honored to be the head coach, but to get 100 wins, it takes so many people, and former players, student athletes have been involved in that.
Girls varsity coach Mr. Rife got his 100 wins as well. Boys had a 5 overtime game.
Different overtime periods. The team just, they stuck together. They were very coachable. It was a fantastic atmosphere.
Senior Juliana Clark scored her 1,000th point in her high school career.
Juliana recently got her 1,000th point, and I think she got this through all her hard work and dedication as well as her teammates. It was very exciting for her and a big accomplishment, and I think that everyone could feel the excitement when it happened in the gym, and I think overall it was just a huge accomplishment.
Whether you're talking about Hempfield's girls or boys basketball, it is clear both teams have made significant strides for this season. For Hempfield Happenings, I'm Taylor Hess.
Located within the Lancaster Public Library, the Autism Resource Center is there to aid those among the autism spectrum. Jack Harrison tells why anyone should check it out.
Recently, Lancaster Public Library was given a grant to help amplify their Autism Resource Center.
Here in Lancaster City, the public library is a great place to learn and get help with dealing with autism. I talked to Karina Burns, the Director of Kids and Teens at the library, about the center.
Started in 2010. It wasn't where we wanted it to be. We didn't have nearly as many resources as we have now. In this room, we have our Autism Resource Center. We have lots of resources that are available for children on the autism spectrum and their parents and caregivers. We have print resources over here on this wall. There are lots of books. Some of them are for the children. A lot of them are for parents and caregivers to give them ideas on lessons to use, to teach them social skills and ways that they can help their children at school.
For the children themselves, the Resource Center provides games and other activities to entertain and exercise their minds.
There are also videos and audio on the top that would also help children and their caregivers. Behind me, this way, are some toys, manipulatives, and games that parents can use to help their children.
It's not working.
Well, my child doesn't have autism, but I know that a lot of families and kids with autism come here and use the center, and they play and they read and they enjoy themselves, and it's a great resource for our community.
So I think this room, as an extension of that, is a great safe space where kids can come in and do what they want to do. They can play the way they want to play, and they can, get comfortable in the pea pods if they're not feeling comfortable. So it just gives them a space to feel like they can be themselves and do what they want to do.
I think that the resources in this area are probably not as plentiful as they should be, and so I think it's a great idea, because I know that families that have this, that are struggling with this, struggle to find resources as well.
Children all over the county with autism or not are encouraged to attend the Sensory Storytime held on the second Saturday every month at 10:30.
Check us out during our Sensory Storytime, because we have a lot of fun and we do some really great things, and we hope to see people here using our resources.
Whether your child is on the autism spectrum or not, Lancaster Public Library has the resources and materials needed to educate and grow. For Hempfield Happenings, I'm Jack Harrison.
Spirit Stick Keychains is a new initiative that encourages positive work habits and decisions. Joel Pletcher talked with some administrators of the program.
The other thing that I have is positive reinforcement is used to promote smart choices throughout Hempfield elementary schools. At Mountville, a new reward system has been set up to encourage good behavior among students. It's called Spirit Sticks.
Spirit Sticks are a really fun way to get students motivated to have good behavior and make good choices in the school setting.
The behavioral initiative originated from an idea of the Mountville PTO, which teachers and staff then developed.
So our PTO went to a trade fair and saw these, and they got really excited thinking that students would be motivated to collect them. Every school has a team that plans a school-wide positive behavior support plan. And so each school is focusing on using incentives to motivate student behavior. And so once everyone decides that's a really good idea and something that we would like to go with, then the principal approves how everything's going to kind of be rolled out.
In conjunction with the school's Rockstar program, Spirit Sticks are embroidered tags given to students when their positive actions are noticed.
So each student was given an initial Spirit Stick keychain, which they were really excited about, and it says MES Rocks. When teachers and staff recognize students for their behavior, they would give them a Spirit Stick to add to their key ring. Our program at school is Rock Stars, so students earn Rock Star slips, so this is just another thing that they can collect when they show Rock Star behavior.
The overall goal is that Spirit Sticks will increase the students' desire to go above and beyond.
We're hoping that students start to understand that that means that they made a really positive choice. You know, it doesn't have to do with just getting something, it also means really showing us that positive behavior on a consistent basis.
But getting the students motivated isn't just something Mountville teachers and staff want, it's something that's happening.
It's exciting because you can get them and collect them, and it kind of shows pride about your school and everything.
I've earned one of mine from the art class, that Pretty Create one, for staying after class and helping clean up.
There's so many options and you can have so many choices and you can really do whatever you want with them. So mostly put them on your backpack and show you good behavior.
In order to equip students with the best knowledge for the future, Mountville teaches principles of behavior from the start. Spirit Sticks help incentivize this. For Hempfield Happenings, I'm Joel Pletcher.
Mountville Spirit Sticks rock!
That's all for this month's episode. Be sure to watch next month when one of our reporters takes a look at vandalism in a local cemetery.
And good luck to our juniors and seniors who will be traveling to Anaheim for the national competition.
Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you next month on Hempfield Happenings.